to another class on Monday. Anyway, I'm going to record it and put it on YouTube. So if you want to review anything, you can. And we have a MBA, second-year MBA student, Dimas, who is working with me in our artificial intelligence work, and he's working on an interesting project in AI, in machine learning, trying to forecast or trying to classify, I should say, fraud in financial 10K forms?
Yes, financial report.
Financial reports. So he's using some artificial intelligence algorithms and trying to do that. He's also actually trying to get the data, which turns out to be one of the biggest problems in AI, is getting the data and cleaning it up. Sounds like, oh, that's nothing, but actually, as I'm sure from my experience, I can definitely say that. And I think if I ask Dimas, he's going to say, and he's going to definitely confirm it, right?
Yes.
It's like everything, right? You haven't even gotten to the AI yet, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And he's been working on it for months. Just getting the data is usually, and cleaning it up, or not getting it, but getting it and cleaning it up they say it takes like 95% of your time. And in my experience, it's at least that. And I think so far for Dimas, he's going to confirm that. So anyway, but by the way, I teach AI courses here, and I'd like you guys who are kind of good with math to join it if you want to. And it would be helpful if you took programming before you did it, but I can advise you also on online programming courses that you can do by yourself, so you don't have to take a course at APU in programming. And if you do take programming, I advise you to take my programming, because I'm teaching. I use Python, which is sort of the booming language these days for everything, but other classes are using bb.net, which is not booming. So I advise you to take my class, but you don't have to take any class. You can just do something online, learn it. It's not that hard to learn. You could probably do it in a few weeks. Okay? Okay, are we ready?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so this is business math, and my name is Professor Claster, and let's, first of all, I just sent you an email from Manaba, and you don't have to do it right now, but there's a form and here, and I want you to fill this out. Everyone should fill this out. Now, one problem is that it's a Google form, and you can't access it if you're logged into APU, because APU doesn't have Google Drive, and so it won't let you do it. So if I try to go there now, it'll take me to the form, but I don't think I can fill it out. No, I can't do anything. Okay, you have to log out of APU completely before you can fill it out. But one thing I want to mention here is the first two things here. So it says, this is something I've just started to do. So it says, I understand that every time I contact the professor by email, I must include a photo of myself. So that's something I'm starting to do now, because I hate getting emails from people and not knowing who they are. You know, like they're in my class, but I have no idea, which person it is. I can't figure it out. So I really don't like to do that. So I'm making this as a policy. So if you contact me, you have to send me your picture. Okay? So I make you agree to that. Okay? So anyway, please fill out this form in general, and agree to these first two things. There's a bunch of other stuff in here as well. Okay? So check. You should have gotten an email from me or from Manava already. So do that. But as I said, you have to log out of APU in order to do it. Okay, let's go next to the syllabus, which is here. Yeah. So this is the syllabus, which everybody knows how to access the syllabus. You can get it through the campus terminal. And let's look at the grading. So grading, method of grade evaluation. Homework, 35%. Quizzes and tests in the 7th class, 25%. And final exam, 40%. So by quizzes and tests in the 7th class, I mean that we're going to have a test in the 7th class. So that will be on everything up to what we've covered in the 7th class. And then we also have in-class quizzes, and those will also contribute to this 25%. Okay? So that's the 25%, the 40% is the final, and homework is 35%. Okay? Yeah. Oh, and the final and the test. Okay, well, let me show you this. So next thing is our book is online, and it's a system you have to pay for it. You have to buy the license for it, and then sign up. Actually, I think I registered everybody, but you have to, so let's see. You have to go to WebAssign. Maybe the best way to do that is to go here, because I'm already logged in. So you go to webassign.net, and you have to purchase this license at the co-op, and it's about 3,500 yen. And this is where you'll do your homework, and this is where the textbook is. And you will log in. Okay, so the way you log in is, I already registered you, so you have to log in with your email, which is your APU email address, and your password is, okay, so your password is, let's see, I think I have something here with everybody's information. Okay, so let's say this person, excuse me for using you, but this person, their email address is this, right? So their password is this ID followed by this. Okay, that's your password. Okay, so it's your ID followed by the beginning of your email address. Okay, that's everything up to the @ mark in your email address. Is that clear? Okay, but these are all capitalized. Okay, M is capitalized, I is capitalized, K is capitalized, A, B, and of course 17. Okay, does that make sense? So in other words, this person's password, if I'm correct, should be copy, paste, should be that, plus, well, okay? Do you understand how it works? Okay? So that's what this person's password would be. Okay? And then, of course, you should change your password. Okay? Unless you don't care. You don't have to change it. But, okay? Everyone get that? Okay. So then you should be able to sign in here. Okay? But you still need to purchase the license, and they will ask you for that license key number in this system. Okay? And without that, you can't do the homework, although they give you, I think, a grace period of about, a window of about 10 days when you can just do the homework anyway without having purchased it. That's for people who aren't sure if they're actually going to take the course, that it gives them like 10 days. Okay, so after that though, you're going to need it, so you have to buy it. Okay, any questions about this? Anybody? Yes?
Professor, could you please show the Excel, because that was me, the first person.
Okay.
So maybe I can just write down the password.
No, you don't need to write down the password, you can just figure it out. Like I said, it's just...
Just for you not to repeat it, maybe I can just...
I would, okay, anyway, all right, but go ahead. You want to take a picture of it?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, we are videoing this lecture, so you can also see it on
All right.
YouTube. Okay, so, all right, so then once you log in and get everything going, you will see something like this, but I'll open the student view, which looks like, I have to choose the right class, looks like this. So this is what you should see. Okay, now, so this is your homework is already there. It goes all the way to homework that's due on August 8th. Okay, so all your homework is here. All right, you can start on it, and your first homework is due on August 19th. I'm sorry, April 19th. Okay, any questions about that? Next one is due on April 25th, and so on. And please notice these times when they're due. It's kind of weird time, but please notice that. Okay, like they're 2:15 p.m. Okay, I guess that has to do with the fact that our class starts at 2:15. Okay, so anyway, that's when they're due. So you can do them anytime, of course, but and in fact, I think there's if you do it 48 hours in advance, you get an extra 5%. Okay, so if you do it in advance, you get an extra points, which can be useful because there might be times when you miss certain things, and then that will cover for your missed points. Okay, now as I was saying about the final exam and the midterm. So, okay, let's look at these problems. Let's say we go to this one. Let's look at it. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you try and do your homework. And you can navigate through the problems. There are 6 problems in this homework, or you can just scroll down and do them. Okay, but, so here's an example. Number 1. It says, my rectangular soccer field. So here's a key word. It's rectangular. Okay? Has a length equal to blah, 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 blah. Find its area. Okay? So we have a rectangle, and we want to find the area. So everybody knows the formula for the area of a rectangle, right? It's the length times the width, right? So, and they say find the area in terms of its length, and they call the length x. So, if so the area is equal to the length times the width, right? And so they're going to call the length x, so I guess it's x times the width. And then they tell you that the length is 1.5 times the width. Right? So that means that x equals what? 3/2 w, right? X equals 3/2 w, right? So and they want the answer in terms of x. So I want to replace w with something with x in it. So you can just say w equals what? 2/3 x, right? And so you just put it in there. So you got x times 2/3 x, and now you have the answer. Okay, so it's, what is it? It's 2/3 x squared, right? So that's what they want. Okay, so let's see. Let's try and input that because it's a little tricky to input it. So let's see. You click in there, and it brings this thing up. So you have to figure out how to use this thing. So I guess what do they have? Operations, functions, symbols. So you can input all this stuff. Relations, sets, vectors, trig, Greek. And they have help. Okay, so how do we do this one? So it has to be 2/3. Sorry. 2/3, I didn't finish it. Where is it? 2/3 x squared, isn't that right? Right? For the area. The area is here. 2/3 x squared, right? Okay, so how do we do that? I have to do this, fraction. So you have to do that. No? How do you do that? 2. Okay. Thirds. Then x. No. Right. Wrong. X. And then you do this thing. Squared. And hopefully it will say you're right. Now let's see if it says we're right. Okay, that was good. Okay, so that's how you do this. Now, if you're not sure of what to do, you can go here. And by the way, this says up here that you get 9 chances to do this. Okay, and I used 1 out of the 9. So, but you have 9 chances to do this. Now, you don't always have 9 chances, so pay attention to that. Okay, you might only have 6 or 3 or something like that. But generally, anyway, this one it's 9. Okay, but we didn't need 9. I guess, I don't know what this does, but you can read it here in the textbook. Now, to get the textbook to work is a little bit of a pain in the neck. I just did it here, but I think I'm going to have to do it before class every time if I want to be able to show you the textbook. But I guess you only have to do it once on your own browser. So what you have to do is it needs Flash. So you have to go to do something like look up download Flash for Chrome Windows 10, for example, since that's what I'm using. And I have to go to, I went to this one, Adobe Flash Player Download, and I had to download it. But even still, it didn't work, unfortunately, because you know that Google hates Flash. You know that? Yeah, they don't like Flash. They've been wanting to get rid of Flash forever. And they, I think YouTube used to use Flash,
Yes.
but not anymore. They use some other, I think it's
HTML5.
HTML5, right? Yeah. Anyway, Flash is kind of prone to viruses and stuff like that, so it's just not very good technology. And so a lot of companies, and Apple doesn't allow Flash, right? Apple also doesn't like Flash. So anyway, nobody likes Flash. But anyway, you have to use Flash for this book, and so you have to download it. And then even still, after you download it, doesn't work. So you have to look up Enable Flash in Chrome, and it tells you what you have to do. Okay, so you have to do that, and then finally it worked. So you can see that it worked because I just showed you. Where was it? Here. Okay, so this is the book. This is our math book. And let's take a quick look at it. So here's functions and applications. By the way, we're going to do this chapter, chapter 1, and we're going to do chapter 3, Mathematics of Finance, and we then will go on to the end, which is derivative, which is calculus, and derivative applications, calculus, further applications of the derivatives, that's still calculus, and a little bit, chapter 13. Okay, so that's what we're going to cover. And by going back to this one, let's just look at it. So let's see what this looks like. And this is kind of not the greatest interface, but you have to go like this, blow it up, and the only way to scroll is using this thing. And so what I wanted to show you is I think they have videos for some of this, and I wanted to find where there's a video. Well, there's usually like a little symbol of a video camera, but also here under media, they have something. No? No media. Maybe they don't have it for this one, I'm not sure. I doubt that actually. Let's look at mathematics and finance. Let's see if I can do media here. I don't know where the media is. But if we go through here, there should be these little symbols that say media. Maybe that's where they use the flash. Anyway, I'll let you see that. You can work on that. I mean, if you run into that, you can view the media. Okay? So this book is a thorough explanation of the material that we study. Thorough, I mean, he does a good job. He explains it in detail. He doesn't leave anything out. He doesn't, he does it in a so-called rigorous way, a mathematically complete way. But we also have slides, and those cannot be as thorough because if they were as thorough as the book, they would be the book. And there's no point making the same thing twice. So they are kind of an outline, and I'll try to provide you with